Looks like it is live. It looks like we are live. That's how it's looking to me. Yes, indeed. Oh, it looks like we are live. Make sure you mute your phone. Mute the video. Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Shalom.
It looks like we are live. Make sure you mute your phone.
All right, we're gonna wait until.
Yes, indeed.
We're gonna wait until some people come into the room.
They're already there, right at the bottom right hand corner. Already in.
Okay.
We're gonna wait.
We're gonna wait until some people come into the room.
Right at the bottom right hand corner.
Okay. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait until some people come into the room.
Pardon the technical difficulties, family. My bad. Forgot to do one other thing. There we go. All right, now we're good to go.
Okay, that was a little strange. Okay, shalom, everyone. I know you guys are used to me doing the herb thing. I came across this topic and I asked my husband to sit in with me because I really want to discuss this topic here. Herb thing. I don't know if you guys can see the title. There's a young lady by the name of, I hope I'm saying it right, Amara La Negra. And she is a young so-called Black woman that just happened to be born, or no, I believe she was born in Florida, but her family just happened to be from the Dominican Republic. But she's one of us. But it just seemed like people are having issues, or there's a confusion about what this woman is, who she is, what is her nationality. Just our people here in America, so-called Black people in America, is having an identity crisis. As far as I'm concerned, well, our people everywhere is having an identity crisis. But I find it disturbing that we don't even recognize each other when we see each other. It's just sad. So I don't know, for those of you who know who I'm talking about, her name is Amara, Amara, Amara La Negra. She, I believe she was on that show,
Love and Hip Hop.
Love and Hip Hop, right? Mm-hmm. I just got wind of her through my husband. I don't watch TV. I'm not familiar with these things, but my husband, he brought this to my attention. So she's apparently a up and coming celebrity. She's on Love and Hip Hop and some other things that she's on. Personally, I think the sister is a little off with the things that she do, but that's not the topic today. The topic is not about what she does, as far as what she does as a celebrity. That's not the topic today. The topic is our people being confused about who we are, who they are. That's always the case. So this young lady, as I did a little research, and apparently people are thinking that she is a white woman who is wearing blackface. Right, honey? There are people who saying that she took those melanin pills or melanin shots, and that she's a white woman who took the shots, or she's just have a dark tan and she's wearing fake hair, whatever. This is a so-called Black woman that just happened to have have a family who was born in one of these so-called Spanish island. That's all it is. But so anyway, I watched her interview on, what was it? what was that channel?
Breakfast Club.
The Breakfast Club, right? With Charlemagne and some other guy. I don't know who these people are. I just watched it yesterday, and it was so disturbing. The interview that I saw with this young lady on the Breakfast Club, and just the complete ignorance from our people, the so-called Black people that was interviewing this young lady. It's just we're going to show you just a couple of snippets of this interview and how sad it is, and this is just what really enraged me, because it's just sad, you know. And one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this, because apparently most people in America, Black people, so-called Black people, and white people as well, okay, they don't think that if you're not so-called African American, then you're not Black, then you're not so-called Black. I mean, I'm using these narratives, but we know who we are. But you know, it's like if you weren't born and raised here, if you're not so-called African American, then you're not considered to be Black. And I've been told this, me being from the Caribbean, I've been told this from white people and Black people. You're not Black because you're not African American. What does that even mean?
Stupid.
What does that even mean?
That's nigger shit. That's what it is.
So,
what it is.
So apparently this young lady, because she's a Spanish-speaking Black woman, so-called Black woman, and her culture is, you know, Dominican, you know, from Dominican Republic. A lot of our people here, apparently she's not Black enough, you know, and in her country, she's too Black. So she's facing it on both sides. She's not Black enough here in America, and in Dominican Republic, she's too Black. So our people in these so-called Spanish islands are facing it just the same way we're facing it here in America. But unfortunately, when we can't even come together, our people from these Spanish islands can't even come together with us, because we don't even know who they are. You know, and so that's a problem. That's a problem. So, honey, I don't know. Do you want to show the?
Well, let me just say a couple of things. First of all, we don't endorse her, so we're not doing the show as an endorsement for her, because, as we've mentioned before, we don't approve of some of the behaviors that she, you know, exhibits. She dresses supremely provocatively, as we saw in the interview. So we're not endorsing her. But the things that were said in that interview, the questions that were asked, and the things that she had to say in the interview, this is a teaching moment. And so we're going to use it exactly for what it's for. The questions that were asked of her, like Charlemagne and them, they know exactly what they're doing. And they know exactly who they work for. And they knew exactly what they were doing when they asked her those questions. Those were really stupid questions. Really, really were. You know, when you ask somebody, is it in their head? When they're being discriminated against their whole life, and you try to make them feel as though there's something wrong with them and it's in their head, then something is really wrong with you, especially since you're under suspicion for bleaching your skin. To begin with, you're under suspicion for bleaching your skin. So how are you going to ask someone if it's in their head? That's just crazy to me. If she stood in line, if you had a line of 10 women, and you had one of them was African American, so-called, one of them was Jamaican, one of them was Barbadian, one of them was Haitian. One of them, she's standing on that line, going all the way down to number 10. You think if a white person walks up, they're gonna be like, "Oh no, she's Dominican, looking like looking just like a Haitian, looking just like a Jamaican." You see what I'm saying? It's real ignorance, and it's stupid. You see, but what happens is that, you know, through slavery and other conditioning that we've been in as a people, we start separating ourselves based on complexion. We start separating ourselves based on language.
The language.
So because somebody speaks Spanish, now they're not our people.
Right.
Because somebody speaks Haitian or Creole, they're not our people. Like, I mean, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? And Black people are doing this to ourselves. We're doing this to ourselves. We're looking real stupid to the world. Ourselves. We have nobody else to blame. You want to say something?
Pathetic. Now, I was going to ask you, do you really think that they were just playing ignorance, or
of course, man.
That was.
Of course, because there's other interviews where Charlemagne pretends like he's conscious, man. He's had people on there like Umar Johnson, You see what I'm saying? He has had Tariq Nasheed on there, people that are so-called conscious. He's had them on that platform before. So he understands what consciousness is. He understands about the separation of our people based on language, complexion, etc. He's had those conversations before. You see what I'm saying? But because the prevailing ignorance out there amongst our people is that if somebody comes from another country that speaks another language, they're not our people, no matter what they look like. That's what he's pushing. That's the narrative he's pushing. Instead of educating our people, because it's not their job to educate our people on the Breakfast Club. That's why they play the type of music that they play. They want to keep our people dumbed down. He gets paid a lot of money to keep our people stupid. And DJ Envy, you too. Go ahead.
I would like to play just a couple of snippet of this interview in case, for those who haven't seen this interview, because I happen to think it was atrocious and just plain ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely.
That interview.
It was absolutely disgusting.
I mean,
so what we're gonna do is we're gonna share our screen, and we're gonna share our screen, and we're going to show y'all a little bit of this interview. Okay. Let's see what we can find here. 1 second. Okay. So. Okay, yep. So let's go right here. So what's the first timestamp that we're going to deal with?
Okay, 35.35.
See, black here in the United States is different. You think black, you think African American.
Right.
See, for us in Dominican Republic, because we're all Dominican, you only have but to say you're black.
35 seconds.
It's kind of hard just to get 35 seconds.
All right. Yeah,
right. We'll start from there.
Sitting in the same seat. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here. I thought I had to like at least 50 hits before sitting here. But I'm excited. So thank you for having me here today.
Well, welcome. What are you?
No, we got to stop right there. What kind of question is that? What are you? Like, what is she from another planet or something? Like, what kind of misguided question is that? And look at the stupid look on his face. Come on, man. Anyway.
Huh?
Like race-wise.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what are you? No, I'm Dominican. Well, born and raised in Miami. My parents are Dominican, and I'm obviously an Afro-Latina. So yes.
So both your parents are Dominican?
Yes, both my parents are Dominican.
Right.
My mom still don't know no English a little bit. We're working on that.
So what is that Afro-Latina? I thought that was half black, half something else. That's what I thought it was too. I thought it was half black, half black.
Well, the thing is that how we see black here in the United States is different. You think black, you think African American.
Right.
See, for us in Dominican Republic, because we're all Dominican, you only have but to say you're black.
I thought Dominicans didn't really mess with black and Puerto Ricans. I thought they just didn't want to be black and they didn't want to be Puerto Rican.
Well, because if you're Puerto Rican, then that's what you are, and if you're Dominican, that's what you are. So you want to rep what you are or where you come from. So that's pretty much what it is. I don't know how it be out here, but in Miami, everybody's pretty cool.
You know, remember we had Dasha Polanco up here.
Yeah, I can say I'm Latino. I'm Latina.
You skipped to 2:35.
Even if I had an afro, I didn't have an afro. I mean, I'm still Afro-Latina because I come from African descent. So that's what it is.
And we had Dasha Polanco up here from Orange is the New Black, and she said she's Afro-Latina too. And we had this whole discussion before with her about what that is.
I thought she had black and a little black. That's why she did. That's what I thought too. But
no,
Afro, yours, like, or
yeah, let's just start into that because I know that people ask me all the time. Yes, I naturally have an afro. I enhance it by using extensions.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Let's see if it'll blow up.
No. I enhance it by using extensions because it's kind of hard, obviously, to have a perfect afro 24/7. But I do have an afro. I love my fro, and I've changed up my look several times. If you look up on the internet, I've gone to straight hair, short hair, But I just feel more comfortable like this. I think it goes more with my personality.
Now let's talk about Love and Hip Hop Miami, because that's how a lot of people were introduced to you, even though you've been doing this show business thing since
forever.
You were a child.
Yes.
And we saw that video also, which you had to post because people thought you were in blackface.
Yo, this is so annoying. Yes, I know. There's actually
I saw those tweets.
There's actually a campaign online that I'm actually not black, by the way. Yes,
so I am blackface.
Yes, I do blackface, and I take melanin shots to be darker. And as a matter of fact, can you please rub me? I just want people to know that
it's just her hand, by the way.
Is it coming off? Is it coming off?
I don't know, man. So you take shots and you do dog face.
I surely don't.
Her legs are beige. Her legs.
Okay, so So apparently there's a huge thing on social media that this so-called Black woman here that just happened to have a culture from Dominican Republic, that she is a white woman because her features doesn't match up to what we believe a Black feature is supposed to look like. Maybe her nose is a little too straight, maybe. You know, her afro might be a little bit too wavy. I don't know what it is, but apparently a few weeks ago I saw somebody share the video and I didn't really pay attention to it. But people are saying that she is a white woman who is wearing a Black face and who took melanin shot and all these things trying to look Black.
How stupid is that? First of all, there's not one white person on the earth that wants the struggle that we go through. Not one. They want our music. They want our food. They'll dress like us. They'll take all of our culture, but ain't no white person going to want to look Black and face the oppression that we as so-called Black people face. That's the stupidest rumor on the internet probably ever. What normal white person would do that? That would want to have to come out their house and be worried about a daggone police officer knocking them upside their head or being shot down. Who would do that? It makes no sense. But that's some Negro stuff. That's what it is. Only a Negro would come up with that and conjure that up in his mind. Nobody else. Crazy.
And then people like her is facing a lot in on the island where she's from, because she's from the Caribbean island. Unfortunately for her, there's a lot. I think there's a lot more people that doesn't look like her where she's from, or the people who are up in the forefront look more European.
Yeah, you go to Univision. If you go to Univision or
Telemundo,
it's still 1950.
Yeah.
On Univision, people are still wearing blackface on there. People are still, you hardly see any dark-skinned people. But Dominican Republic is full of dark-skinned Dominicans,
Yep.
light-skinned, but they're all over. They just aren't where you could see them.
You know what? Let's play the video. Let's go to the 8-minute and 27-second mark on this video, because this young lady is going to tell you what happened to her when she tried to interview for a part on I guess one of those Telemundo
Yeah.
let's see, 8:27. Yeah, you could do it right there.
I'll tell you something that happened that was really important in my lifetime. That is the reason why I stand so hard for it. I went to do an audition for a Latin soap opera, and they told me I had a special look. Special look means you're Black. So they said I had a special look, and I was like, okay, cool. They're like, honestly, because you're so cool, I'm just gonna tell you the truth. Listen, if we have any roles like, maybe like a prostitute or, a gangster, Bible, or a gangster, or maybe if we do like a slave, maybe like soap opera or something, definitely you will have you in mind.
You should have told them that's not the way you treat special people.
But at that moment, just to hear that, you don't even know how to react. You don't know if to be like, the fuck you just said to me right now? Like, you don't know. So it's really hard. No, we don't have Black Lives Matter movement. We don't have Martin Luther King's. We don't have Malcolm X. We don't have The Voice. You see,
So when we say
we don't have that.
When we say Black and brown, the brown, like that's covering the Latinos.
Yeah, Black and brown, to me, we're all the same. We're physically, the race, we're all the same.
When we say
So clearly our people are everywhere, and clearly they are facing the same bull crap that we're facing right here in America. No different. Okay, she's being told that she's only fit to play a role of the slave and the prostitute, and the housemaid. I mean, does that sound familiar? Does it sound familiar? Isn't that what you see here in the United States with Black people in the roles in these movies? Isn't that what you see? Our women are maid or slaves or whatever, the joke in the movie. Our men are, just in general, our people are just a joke in the movie. And so that's what they're facing over there. But apparently our people here just can't recognize I find this very sad. I need to hear this right here, because I need to show when one of these brother asked her.
What's the timestamp?
4 minutes and 40-second timestamp. I couldn't believe what this brother said to her. I think it was the just most ignorant thing I've ever heard. 4:40.
And have people that look like myself. So why aren't we on magazine? Why aren't we on movies? Why aren't we? So it bothers me.
I thought you were black until I heard you speak. But didn't your manager say you had to cut your hair? You still with that manager that said you?
Stop it right there.
Let's go back and do it again.
You have to look like J-Lo, Sofia Vergara, Shakira. But when you look like me,
No,
you
fine,
don't look Latina enough. What does that even mean? There isn't a Latin country that doesn't have people that look like myself. So why aren't we on magazine? Why aren't we on movies? Why aren't we? So it bothers me.
I thought you were black until I heard you speak. But didn't your manager say you had to cut your hair? You still with that manager that said you?
Young Hollywood, you're talking
about something different.
He thought she was so-called black until he heard her speak. What does that even mean? What does that even mean?
Doesn't mean anything.
I don't understand it.
It means he's an
I
idiot.
thought you were black until I heard you speak. Can somebody explain to me what this means? Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys a little story, okay? Because this is real. And what it is that white people are telling black people how they're supposed to think. This has been going on for centuries, right? Years ago, before I came into this truth, I had a friend, a friend as a Becky friend, okay? And long story short, her father, I'm not black, I'm Jamaican. And her father was like, oh, I thought she was black. So apparently there's this separation in people's mind. Like if you're a so-called black, if you look like me, but you weren't born and raised in America, you're not so-called black, you're something else. And I've just, ever since I've been living here, I could tell you right now, I see the difference between how white people treat me when they realize that I wasn't born and raised in this country. They have up this wall until they realize that, oh, okay, so she's from the Caribbean. All right. And then all of a sudden they start to get more comfortable around me. I can't tell you how many times this has happened to me. And so apparently if you're not so-called Black American, you're not so-called black, you're something else. And then our people get confused about what are you? What are, especially if you speak another language, that's even worse. So that's what this young lady is going through. It's sad. I thought you were black until you speak. What does that mean?
What does that mean? What
does that mean?
Yeah. What does that say about how he thinks black people speak?
Right.
And he's black. It doesn't make any sense. Like I said, we are an embarrassment to ourselves all over this world. We do it to ourselves, man. And these are the people that you have out in the forefront on radio, interviewing people. They're supposed to be intellectual, and man, it's a shame, man. It's a shame.
Hey, let's just play a couple more clips. Let's go to 11 minutes and 35-second mark. There's so many wrong in this interview. It's amazing. You can stop it right there. Yeah.
You're offending a whole race of people that look like myself. Like, you just don't get it. So
he's saying you're trying to act black? Be black?
Oh, yeah. I'm just trying to act black, whatever that means. What exactly is acting black? I'm not sure what that is.
This is just a mess. It's a mess for him.
And you know what? That's a great question. It really is a great question. Like, what exactly is acting black? What is that? Because the majority of behaviors that we exhibit in this country, man, we learn from our enemies and our oppressors. The way we interact with each other is not the way we interacted with each other in ancient times. The way we treat each other, the hatred that we have towards one another, towards the way we treat our children, the way we treat our wives, the way we treat our husbands. This is not normal for us. So what is acting black? No, we're acting like we were conditioned to act the way we were conditioned in slavery, and coming all the way up to till today. What you see of black people is how we were conditioned. This is what Willie Lynch was talking about. Now we know Willie Lynch wasn't really real, but the principles in there. This is exactly what they wanted. This is how they planned to destroy us from jump. So what is acting black? Makes no sense.
So as this young lady continued to explain her struggle, you know, what she experienced as a so-called black woman here that just happened to speak a different language. She looked like us, right? Her father, she said it in this interview, her father is darker than she is. Her mom is slightly lighter than her. But these are, but this brother asked her, what is your struggle? Like he just kind of pretty much dismissed her, like he didn't care. Like, you know, what's your struggle?
The same as anybody else if they don't know where she comes from and who her parents were. Just by looking at her struggle is the same as anybody else.
You know what? I need to share what I need to share this question he asked her. Could we go to the 21-minute mark?
I feel like times have changed a lot.
Okay, but the same thing I go back to. For the most part, I'm coming from the Latin market into the American, and this is the struggles that we have.
Right? You can say
you don't. Not in your mind.
It's not because you can.
That's Love and Hip Hop. That's a storyline. And who the fuck is?
Okay, we got to go back and listen to that again. This dude asked her if her struggle is in her mind. She done told you she done told this dude already that she went to a audition, and they told her that if they have a drug dealer or a slave role or something like that, that they would put her in there, and you're gonna ask her what her struggle is. How stupid can you be, Charlamagne? How stupid can you be? Seriously. Now listen to that again. That was you should have gave himself the donkey of the day for that. That was a stupid question.
Pick the lighter, you know, they'll always pick the ones that look, like I said before, like J-Lo's and Shakiras and stuff before they look at us. Who cares if you're talented? Who cares if you're educated? You know, you're always going to be the last option.
So
it's just a symbol of beauty.
I don't see that. Like, I mean,
yes.
And I guess I'm uptown a lot. I'm in New York.
But you don't see it where?
I don't even see it in Hollywood no more. I feel like times have changed a lot.
Okay, but the same thing I go back to. For the most part, I'm coming from the Latin market into the American, and this is the struggles that we have.
Right? You can say you don't.
Not in your mind.
It's not because you can.
That's Love and Hip Hop. That's a storyline. And
really?
But is it true? But is it true? Yeah, but it's a true storyline. Like, it's not even, we didn't have to fake it because it's the truth. Like, if you sit down, I would love for you to Google right now.
But besides the Latin soap opera, where else have
there's no movies, there's no soap operas, there's no magazines, there's just nothing. And if they do, they'll pick this one that's kinda.
Well, what is Cardi B?
We can.
You just can't be. You can't be.
You can't be that dumb.
Charlamagne can't be that dumb.
You just,
that's why I said earlier. I said he know exactly what he's doing. You can't be that stupid. You just can't. I can't see it.
I'm gonna say this. I really have to say this right now. The reason I wanted to discuss this topic is because you have some Hebrew Israelite who, if you're not dark skinned with nigger naps, right? Then you're not a Hebrew Israelite. You hate all 12 tribes is dark skin with Afro hair, and that's it, and they don't want to hear anything else. Where does it say that in the scripture?
It doesn't.
Where does it say that? We can't do that. And just because somebody doesn't sound like us, they're not us.
We get caught up in the arguments that white people make. That's why I said we've been conditioned by the white man. Israelite is not determined by his phenotype. You can't look at someone's phenotype and say, oh, they're Israel, because you have Bob Marley, who phenotypically looks like us, but his father's a white man. You see what I'm saying?
And you do have a lot of Hebrew Israelite who still believe that Bob Marley is a so-called black man. No matter what you tell them, they will fight you to the death.
Because his mother, but that's not. It's not. Israel goes by the seed of the father. That's the nation. That's how the nation goes. So that's neither here nor there. We got to get out of our feelings.
So it's all about the.
So it's not about phenotype. It's about genotype more so than phenotype. But we've allowed the white man to tell us these things, and we just fall for it. You know what I'm saying? So phenotypically, she looks just like any other Haitian, Jamaican, whatever. She looks phenotypically just like them, but because she was born on of a family that's from Dominican Republic, all of a sudden you're gonna ask her, is it in her head? So I guess it was in her head when she went to that interview and they said what they said, that audition. It just doesn't make any sense.
No, I think a big part of what she's going through is because she doesn't have the typical black features. I don't know if you notice, if you look at the young lady, you could tell that she have the straighter nose, her features is slightly different than, I guess
what's been typically they say with us, which is a whole nother argument, because all nations come from us. Right. So all features come through us. That's why you have parents, they could have children and the children look totally different, man. Their complexions could be different, their facial structure could be different, their hair texture could be different, and they come from the same parents. The eye color could be different. You see what I'm saying? So she has different features than what would be typically you would see on what they consider to be a so-called African American or Haitian. So what?
And the fact that she doesn't, she speak a different language.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised to know how many so-called black people is living in China right now, in Korea right now, over there in Europe right now. So if me and you were to go to Europe and have a child, would all of a sudden that child would be white?
And that goes into the whole census thing, man. It's the whole census thing.
So I need to show my so-called, some of my Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters. I really need to show you guys, for those of you who is stuck on this, you have to be dark skinned and you have to, be in I think a lot of our people think that you have to be in America to be a Hebrew Israelite.
What scriptures are they reading?
It makes no sense. Right. So I was doing a little research. Unfortunately, a lot of our people don't even believe that our people is, like you just said, our people are everywhere. And you have a village in Mexico with nothing but so-called black people, right? And this village here was not even, I was watching this last night. Let me read a little bit of snippet from what I got from the video. In 2015, the Mexican government included the so-called Afro-Mexican in their national census. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean, hon? That means that before 2015, people weren't even considered a part of Mexico, like a part of the population, right? Isn't that what it means? They weren't even considered a part of the population. They were included in the national census for the first time in history. 1.4 million Mexican of so-called African descent was included in the national census. And this is a large community that is out in the outskirt of Mexico, that is not really included in the, the European look type people. They're sort of, separated from the rest of the world in Mexico.
It's the same thing that you will see in Dominican Republic. You're not going to see them on TV. You're not going to see them in magazines. You're not going to know they exist unless you know they exist.
Yep. And they're there. Of course, they're lost just like everybody else. They don't know who they are. They think they're African. They think they're this, they're that. But I just want to show you guys what these people look like. For those of you Hebrew Israelite who just run around saying that, we just have to be black with, dark skin with Afro hair, and that's it. And there's nothing else.
esclavas son del noroeste de África. Nosotros elegimos esa región porque nos dimos cuenta a través del internet que los esclavos que fueron extraídos de allá llegaron hasta acá a nuestro pueblo, a Coyantes, y entonces empezamos a indagar y retomamos estas danzas. Seguimos bailando porque intentamos dar a conocer nuestra cultura y a través del baile nosotros pretendemos invitar, atraer a los jóvenes para que se unan a nosotros y así consolidar nuestra cultura, consolidar nuestra propia identidad como pueblo negro. A mí me encantaría que los pueblos negros sean reconocidos para que con eso exista una igualdad de derechos y así que nosotros nos sintamos orgullosos de ser negros y que también lo transmitamos. Y pues así va a ser a todo dar porque vamos a estar contentos todos.
So there you go. That's in the middle of Mexico. These people probably don't even speak a lick of English.
And there was some really important things that were in the video that hopefully brothers and sisters were able to catch. One of the things I noticed, first of all, is that it said, one of the first things I noticed is the fact that it said that most Mexicans in Mexico aren't even aware that these people live in the same country as them. So what is television like down there?
Yep.
What is it like? You see what I'm saying? And then she went on to say towards the end of the video that she wants equal rights. She's praying that eventually they get equal rights. So what is that telling you about them? They're being oppressed down there as well. So they're going through the same curses that we're going through here. So when someone like Charlemagne will say, what's your struggle? I mean, you got to get out more, bro. You got to get out more. You got to read a couple more books. You know what I'm saying? Do it. Get somebody to teach you some history or something. Now, you know, one of the sisters on the comment board made a good point that Charlemagne knows exactly what he's doing. He's just doing it. And I agree with that 100%. He's doing it just to do it. You see what I'm saying? That's what he gets paid to do, to be an idiot and ask stupid questions. That's what he gets paid to do.
Somebody is asking, how do we know she's Judah?
Well, we never claimed that she was Judah. Nobody said we never claimed that she was Judah. But those are Israelites. Absolutely.
Right. And I'm going to say this too, right? I'm going to say this too. I notice that Hamites here in America on a larger scale do not go through the same struggle that we go through. I don't care what you say. I've seen the Hamites here. They come here, they do what they do. They don't go through the same struggle like our people go through here. They are a different breed of people. Esau know that they're different, and Esau treat them as such.
I went through that in a video not too long ago during the time of Malcolm X. He was talking about how we're talking about the 50s now, 1950s. You had Africans that were coming over here, and they were walking through the front door of restaurants and hotels while blacks that were born here were still having to go around the back. And these Africans were darker than me and her put together. And it was going through the front door while we walking around the back. You see what I'm saying? So the nations know who's who.
Of course,
they know who's who.
For the most part, Ham is not treated the way that we are treated. So you can tell. Look, take a look. I mean, seriously, if you really take a look at the Hamites here, they are able to come here and excel. Okay, and excel. A lot of the Hamite kids that you know, these so-called black kids that you see here that are geniuses that come here and they're you know 12-year-old and they just graduate colleges and this, that, and the other. Check into their background and you realize that they're Ham. They're Ham. Our people don't get the same privilege that Ham get. And you know, you can argue with me all you want, but that's just the way I see it. Ham get different treatment than our people here in this country get, because Esau know the difference. We might not know the difference, but Esau knows the difference between Ham and us.
Because again, going back to it, we get stuck up on color. So
Right,
we look at
exactly.
her, we look at somebody like Amara La Negra and say she's not our people. But then we look at somebody that's from Africa and say they are our people, because we just all get all messed up with that color thing. And the white man's responsible for that. It's just dealing with nationality and nationhood, man. And only with Israel. You see what I'm saying? So we got to get off of that.
And of course, she doesn't really know what, I mean, she's calling herself Afro-Latina. What is Afro-Latina?
Something else that somebody just made up.
Right. I mean, she recognized that she's so-called black.
Right.
She recognized that.
Which is a good thing,
You know
because
what I mean?
you have a certain percentage of our people that are in these countries in South America, like Brazil and Dominican Republic and Cuba and Puerto Rico and different, these different islands. You have a certain percentage of the ones that are so-called Afro-Latino that hate black people. They'll be darker than you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying Hondurans, especially a lot of them, they'll be darker than you and don't like you, and will tell you in a minute that they're not you. They're not your people. At least, as quiet as kept, at least she's acknowledging that she is us. And that in itself is a lot. You see what I'm saying? That in itself is a lot. And the reason why a lot of them do that is because they know the oppression that goes on here. They know what we're going through here. So anything that they could do to divide themselves away from us, they do it. I ain't black. And be darker than 12 midnight. You see what I'm saying? So at least I give her this much credit. And again, I said I'm no fan of hers. I don't support what she does. I don't support the way she dresses. But I give her this much credit. She could be in the position she's in and be denying herself. And she's not doing that. And I respect that. And she's not she didn't blonde her hair, make her hair blonde, and try to bleach her skin. She's not doing any of that. She's just being herself. And in this day and time, with the standards of beauty that's being pushed, especially in the music industry, what is considered to be beautiful, for her to stay and be herself, that's a lot. It may seem like a little bit to those of us that's conscious, we have knowledge. So to us, what she's doing is nothing. But in the position that she's in, to be embracing wearing her afro, embracing her complexion, embracing who she is, and not running away from that, that is big. That is tremendous. So I have to give her credit for that.
Sister Whitney, we're not saying she's Judah. We don't know what she is. We're saying she's so-called, Negro, so-called black. That's it. We don't know what tribe she's from.
We're not claiming
trying to say whether she's Judah or Benjamite or whatever. We don't know. But clearly, if she was a Hamite coming over from the continent over there, I don't think she'd be having as much problem getting to where she want to go in the so-called entertainment business at all. I've seen these Africans, look at that. Look, Lupita, what her name is. But we don't know what she is. We're not claiming she's Judah or Benjamin or Levi or whatever. We don't know what she is, but it appears that she is an Israelite.
We can read her spirit. She's Israel, man. Definitely, she's Israelite. Her spirit bears witness with our spirit. We can see that she's an Israelite. She just have to hold forward and be strong. Anyway, let's continue.
I want to share another video, and maybe we'll just wrap this up. I want to share another video, and I think this other video is also in Mexico.
Yeah.
And this is just an example to show you guys that our people are everywhere.
People of African descent go back hundreds of years in Mexico, but as a group, Afro-Mexicans are largely invisible. A 2015 census is changing that. CCTV's Frank Contreras has insight from Mexico's southern state of Oaxaca.
Among Afro-Mexican communities here on the Pacific coast of Mexico's Oaxaca state, this dance is symbolic. Locals say the devils represent the growing power of African descendants in this part of Latin America. It's a history that's beginning to gain global attention.
The presence of Africa here in Oaxaca state is one of the lesser known aspects of the vast cultural diversity in this region, one of the most culturally diverse in all of Latin America.
Last year, for the first time, the government conducted an interim census asking Mexicans, based on your culture, history, and traditions. Do you consider yourself black, meaning
how dark she is?
Or
Look at that.
Afro-descendant? And nearly 1.4 million people responded yes. Afro-Mexican communities exist here in Oaxaca State's Costa Chica region, the neighboring state of Guerrero, and Veracruz State, among others. An Afro-Mexican leader from Pinotepa Nacional says, as a nation, Mexico is much more than just a mixture of Spanish and indigenous people.
We believe that the whole world should know that in the colonial era, Mexico was an entry point for African slaves. Our ancestors were forcibly brought here under slavery.
But images of African descendants in Mexico rarely appear in public. The exception is this famous comic book character, Memín Penguin, which was created in the 1940s. Nicomedes Ramirez and her cousin, Castula Silva, grew up in these impoverished coastal communities. Ramirez says over the years, politicians have come with their election year promises to end poverty.
They told us they would help, and they would bring us basic things we were lacking. All we had to do was ask, but so far, they have done nothing for us.
No, I never went to school because when I was a girl, there was no school here. We had to go to another community, and my parents, may they rest in peace, told me I could not go, so I never studied.
Afro-Mexican communities are almost completely separated from the rest of Mexico, and very few outsiders ever come here for a first-hand look at their most well-known traditions, like this dance known as a chilena, or this one depicting a charging bull. Mexico's national constitution is the only one in Latin America that does not specifically mention the existence of citizens of African descent. Afro-Mexican authorities say they're planning to take legal action and change the constitution so that it includes them.
By having no presence in the Mexican Constitution, there is no public policy that protects our rights and necessities. We, as Afro-Mexicans, like many indigenous Mexicans, live in regions of extreme marginalization.
Constitutional recognition would finally give them access to medical services, educational grants, and social security benefits. For now, Afro-Mexicans, whose descendants came from places like Kenya, Congo, and later the Caribbean, still do not enjoy these basic rights. Frank Contreras, CCTV, on the Costa Chica in Mexico's southern state of Oaxaca.
Does any of this sound familiar to anyone? Does this look familiar?
Hey, what's up, my friend Cal and I here? In a moment, I'm gonna step into my office here at my home and
keep going.
I mean, I watched that video and that just reminded me of Jamaica. That looks just like Jamaica. I feel like I was back home. Those people are in the slums. Like, seriously, who live like that? We're the only people who live like that. No matter where we are, we're always in the slum. But you see, if these people come here and we treat them bad, what are you? You speak Spanish. You don't talk like us. You don't look. Your nose don't look like our nose. Your features don't look like our features. Our people really need to wake up, man. We need to wake up. Our people are scattered everywhere. The scripture says this. Those are our people. I mean, you watch that video and it's no different from what we're facing here in America. They're in the slums. They're not even recognized in where they live. I mean, didn't they say that we're still not even in that so-called constitution? We're not even human, right? Right? And we still not recognized here. I mean, does that sound familiar with these people? What's going on with these
curses,
people?
Man.
I mean, come on.
The Most High tells us in Deuteronomy, we all read it all the time. The Most High said the curses will be on us for a sign. So everywhere Israel went, these curses are going to be on us, man. That's how you're going to know. It ain't going to be no daggone DNA test. It's not going to be your phenotype, the way you look. It's going to be them curses.
So,
and if I can just say, when people say that black only people in this country went through the curse of Deuteronomy 28, you need to read and study a lot more.
Absolutely.
Because everywhere Israel went, we went through these curses. Doesn't matter where we're scattered to this very day. You know, and sometimes, to be quite frank and to be quite honest, the ghettos in these other countries are way worse than the ones here. Yeah. And they're living way worse, man. You see some of the housing structures that people are living in. Have you ever seen how some of our people live in Haiti and in certain parts of Jamaica and certain places like that? You see the way the houses are constructed. That's why when a hurricane comes through, man, it raises hell, destroys everything in sight. You know what I'm saying? Because people are living poor.
And the worst part about it is that young lady, La Negra, she said they don't have NAACP, right, and all this other groups, activist group that we have here. So in Dominican, where she's from, a European can put on a black face and walk around and mock them and nothing comes out of it.
They do it. They do it.
You see what I mean? Like those things are normal there. There's no protest. You know what I mean? A person can call you a nigga to your face, whatever, and they don't do anything because it's not normal where she's from to have a protest and speak out against these things. You know, she said ever since that Celia Cruz, ever since Celia Cruz passed away, they don't really have any so-called, black entertainer that represent the black community there in the Dominican Republic. That's what she says.
No, it's nowhere. It's not on TV. It's not on the telenovelas. It's not. The only place you might run into some of them is sports, baseball, soccer. You run into some of them. Outside of that, no.
It's the European look that is being pushed, and so our people are facing the same thing we're facing here in America. No matter where they are, they're facing it. All across the Caribbean island, our people are there. They were dropped off there on the damn boat, just like Americans, just like you guys were here. Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, I can name all the Caribbean islands. Our people are there. It doesn't matter what language they speak. They are still there. They didn't go anywhere. They're still there. The same way we're still here in America. They're still there. And we have to recognize that. We can't have, when they come here and you can't just ask them, what are they? How come you look like that? Blah, blah, blah. It just makes you sound stupid. Charlemagne and all these other idiots that's supposed to be in the media representing our people. It's dumb. So, yeah, so, listen, again, for those of you, y'all have to stop this. If you're not dark skinned or if you don't have a certain features, you're not a Hebrew Israelite. You really need to stop that. You really need to stop it. If you don't speak like us, if you don't look like us, then you're not one of us. That's ignorance. That's ignorance. And the Most High is going to deal with y'all with that. Okay? Really. I don't know if you have anything else to say, honey.
No, I think we drove the point home already. We just wanted to give a little bit of commentary on the ignorance that's going on in the world today. Just give the audience something a little bit different than y'all are used to on this channel. It's been a while since we live streamed either on this channel or Maccabees TV. So this is a perfect opportunity to come and talk to the family, and everybody else is talking about this. So, we just wanted to open up the floor to talk about it a little ourselves, and we'll be dealing with more topics of relevance and importance, like this, more often. And we look forward to you guys' feedback. If you're not already subscribed to Sisters of the Maccabees, matter of fact, I'm going to share the screen one last time. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Also, make sure you share this video. And while y'all are here, man, hit the like button. All right, hit the like button on this video. You know what I'm saying? Let YouTube know that y'all, we're watching the video. That's how they know. Okay. Really quickly, I want to just 1 second. I just want to show you, our brothers and sisters, all the channels, because we have a lot of channels now. We're bringing a lot of content, to you guys. So make sure you subscribe to all the channels, all the Maccabees TV channels, so that you don't miss anything. All right. Let's see. Computer's moving a little slow, guys. Here we go. So these are all of our channels now, right? You can see them all across the top of the screen. You have Maccabees TV 2. You have Maccabees TV. That's the main channel. You have Maccabees TV Music, and our newest channel that we created called Healthy Hebrew Kitchen. I'm just going to click on that real quick and show you what we're doing over here. So as you can see, we are in the kitchen, family. All right. We have pigeon pea soup here. We have Jamaican rice and peas, the benefits of raw cocoa, vegetarian lasagna, how to make homemade seasoning so you don't have to go out and buy seasoning from the store, how to make it. Another video on stuffed peppers. You know, we have the group called Healthy Hebrews on Facebook, and we're trying to get Israel to be more healthy, take more herbs, and eat, you know, make more healthy, better healthy choices when you're eating. So my wife used to get a lot of requests from people about different recipes. Like if she would make something, she would post it in the group, and you had everybody asking, well, how do you make that? What's the ingredients? What's this? What's that? So we came with a channel where we're actually showing brothers and sisters how to make some of these healthy choices. And it's not just us. We're partnering with the I Am Israel camp in Ohio, and they're also in some of these videos as well. So definitely make sure that y'all subscribe to the Healthy Hebrews Kitchen, as well as all the Maccabees TV channels. This is Maccabees TV Music. If you weren't aware it existed, here it is. You know, we're just starting out with these channels, but you know, they're going to definitely grow. And what it is that all the music videos, man, are going to be in one place. You don't even have to go looking for them. They'll all be in one place. You wake up in the morning, you want some inspiration from the Hebrew Israelite music. It's all going to be in one place, family. So we're making moves. We're making moves. All praise to the Most High. You want to just visit you have anything you want to talk about as far as on the comment boards? Anybody you want to answer? You know, shout out to everybody that's on the comment boards. Let me just shout y'all out real quick. Yanis, shout out to you, of course. Angelica Walker, I always see you on all the videos showing love. Much respect to you. Choti Love, Whitney, Titus, shout out to all of y'all. You got anything you want to?
No, that's it. You know, just our people need to recognize themselves. We can't be stranger to each other. That's pretty much what I want to say. A so-called Afro-Latina isn't always the you know, we come in we come with different features. So it's not about the skin color. It's not about the hair texture sometimes. You know what I mean? I know we're all used to seeing so-called Dominican Republic individuals or Puerto Rico, you know, people that are from Puerto Rico that are just have the European features. We come in all shades and features. We can't just have this tunnel vision when it comes to our people. It doesn't work like that. You know, I'm still trying to Afro-Latina. You say that and people don't know what it is. It's just a black person that was born in a Latin island, on a Latin island. That's it. That's all it is. It's a black person, a so-called black person that was born and raised, or have a culture that from one of the Afro Latin island. That's it. That's it. That's all it is.
All right, family. So with that, we're gonna say shalom to y'all. Thanks to everybody that came on and supported. This is our first live stream, so really this was just a test, you know, to see when we go live if people would even get the message and come through and check it out. So shout out to everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and Sisters of the Maccabees channel will be back with some new content real soon. Most High will. So we say shalom.
Shalom.